Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're talking about the brand new Battlefield live action trailer that pokes fun at Call of Duty and actually Battlefield 2042, in my opinion. We'll get into that a little bit later. More information about Battlefield 6 Season 1, the amount of content that we should be expecting for each season in Battlefield 6, movement changes, weapon changes, and of course, campaign news from inside sources. Then after all that, we'll be talking about the possibility that Battlefield 6 might be bringing back Battlefield 3 Ziba Tower. So let's start going over all this stuff. We are so close to the release of Battlefield 6. You can just, it's almost like you can just feel the tension in the air, you know? It's like, oh, we're in the final stretch, but these last 2 weeks are going to be the longest 2 weeks of all of our lives. So if you enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and of course swing by a stream. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders and on this YouTube channel as well. And of course join the Discord. That is in the description as well. So Battlefield revealed their live action trailer, and I have to admit, this was pretty S-tier marketing and bait and switch from EA and DICE. They, I think, released a teaser of it showing the first few seconds, and everyone thought, oh my god, you know, they're inviting these celebrities, it's going to be super corny. But then the bait and switch came in, the live action trailer starts, they start going through all the celebrities and the classes they're playing, and then, well, they just get blown up, and one of the soldiers say, well, who was that? It didn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Now, this is very clearly a dig at Call of Duty, which is based, but in my opinion, this is also a slight dig at Battlefield 2042's specialist system, and an attempt to kind of poke fun at their own mistake. In my opinion, the live-action trailer was good. I mean, it's a trailer, it's supposed to be very chaotic and everything else, and DICE always does really well with their trailers. However, I do think this puts them in a little bit of a position to deliver, because if you're going to be poking fun at other games, you better deliver, right? There better be minimal launch problems. The game better be quality, because if you don't deliver, you're going to be looking pretty funny if you're poking fun at other games. But I have to be honest, guys. Does anyone give a fuck about Call of Duty Black Ops 7? This might be the first Call of Duty that I skip because I simply don't care. And that's really depressing, because I kind of want to care about COD, but they just ruined their franchise, so I don't know. Next up, we have some info coming from the Tokyo Game Show. This is coming from Byron B directly on stage, and he says Season 1 will, quote, debut very shortly after launch, and that new weapons, vehicles, and maps will be added regularly. I am going to be extremely interested to see the post-launch content cycle of Battlefield 6 in comparison to Battlefield 2042 in particular, but also Battlefield 5. I don't really know if you can say that Battlefield has had a successful live service yet, so if they can actually get regular content out with a decent amount of content on a regular basis, that will be, well, the first success for the franchise when it comes to live service. The amount of content is imperative, though. I don't want to hear any one map every fucking 4 months thing, okay? We can leave that to Delta Force, which is now going to be irrelevant as soon as Battlefield 6 releases. I want to see something like a bare minimum of 2 maps per season with multiple weapons, assignments, battle passes, and everything else that comes in a season. I don't think that is too much to ask, and I actually think that is what they absolutely have to do in order for people to consider the amount of content they're receiving good. Now, that isn't all Byron Bead had to say on the stage. He also mentioned the Battlefield studio teams have made, quote, adjustments and fixes that will be coming both at launch and beyond. So there's a patch coming for the launch build of the game. And he reiterates some of the things that have already been mentioned, like the movement nerfs and some of the recoil and tapfire characteristics of weapons. And he actually makes another statement on what they've changed with the movement. So they're clearly focusing on the movement quite a bit. And this is what he said. Quote, we're reducing slide jump momentum, penalizing jump spamming, and decreasing accuracy while firing midair to promote more tactical gameplay. Now, you have to dissect this piece by piece, and this is very important to understand. This is not additional changes. He is referring to changes that have already been mentioned, so these are not additional. When Byron Bead says they're reducing the slide jump momentum, this should be largely inconsequential to gameplay, considering the momentum you gained from slide jumping wasn't useful anyway. When he's referring to jump spamming, he's referring to a bug in the beta that allowed you to retain momentum and spam a bunch of jumps. In the normal gameplay of Battlefield 2042, you could never spam jumping. That really wasn't anything that you could utilize in gameplay. And when he mentions decreasing accuracy while firing mid-air, this likely refers to the aim penalty nerfs for the sway that we saw and that I've detailed. These are not actual accuracy nerfs to your spread or, general weapon accuracy while aimed down sights. I just wanted to clear that up. I did see a lot of confusion surrounding this statement. People thought these were additional changes. They're not. This is just another statement on existing things. But I will say the movement nerfs are still extremely questionable. I do not think to this day that they were necessary. People playing the beta were having a great time, and to be honest with you, I'm still waiting for somebody to show me this mystical overpowered movement that needed to be nerfed being used against them. I haven't seen a single clip that isn't one of the bugs that they are talking about fixing. So, there's that. And one last thing, then we'll move on to the next topic. I understand I talk about movement quite a lot on this channel, but it's very important. It is one of the most important parts of gameplay, and I need everyone to understand I don't think the movement nerfs are going to be the end of the world or anything. In fact, in the grand scheme of things, they're probably not going to matter that much. However, the reason why I'm harping on this so much is the specific things they're doing with the penalties and increasing the severity of the penalties. That is a very slippery slope and could potentially have a gigantic impact on gameplay, and I don't want them to go overboard. I don't want them to over-nerf things. We have seen DICE do that exact thing before, and there's a great chance they'll do it again if they're not careful. Now, moving on to some insider commentary regarding the Battlefield 6 campaign. Apparently, people are reporting that it's getting a mixed to negative reception. This is coming from Battlefield Bulletin. People claim it feels unpolished and frustrating to play. But I just have to say, is this necessarily surprising? Marcus Leto, the guy that headed the studio Ridgeline Games that was producing the Battlefield 6 campaign, literally just up and quit, and then the studio was shut down, and then Marcus Leto said he has nothing nice to say about working with EA. So, in my opinion, this was inevitable. This should have been seen by everybody from a million miles away. And again, if the Battlefield 6 campaign is the weakest element of Battlefield 6, I would consider that a victory. It could have been the multiplayer, So while the campaign being potentially disappointing is not great for the game, the multiplayer being shit is certainly way worse. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is this screenshot that somebody caught from the Portal trailer that was launched recently. This is allegedly Ziba Tower being recreated in Portal, so that would be awesome to see. Ziba Tower just had one of the coolest map aesthetics of all time for a Battlefield map. You're basically on top of a skyscraper in some sort of super high-end restaurant / apartment area. Was super cool looking. But that about wraps this video up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy the content and find it informative, hit that sub button, hit the like button, and of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Swing by a stream and join the Discord. And we're 2 weeks out, less than 2 weeks actually. It's like 12 or 11 days. And this time around, I would say more people are excited for Battlefield 6's launch than afraid of it, and I cannot say the same for BF5s or 2042s. There was definitely a feeling of existential dread when it came to Battlefield 2042 releasing, as well as BF5, and it's just cool for once to actually be able to look forward to a release date rather than begging the developer to delay it to avoid the impending doom. So again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.